Every child, every brother that's caught in the crossfire. That's caught.
2018 has been a very divided year for film, but for me it has been a pretty good one. I honestly thought that there were a lot of underrated films that I personally enjoyed. Sure, a lot of people don't, but I guess that just this 2018 in a nutshell. It divided a lot of people for many different reasons. So let's start off with my honorable mentions. These are the films that I really enjoy and I highly recommend, but didn't quite make it to the list. Bumblebee, Black Panther, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Post, and Paddington 2. I gave them all really high grades, but there were 10 other films that I personally had more enjoyment and more rewatch with this year. And so here they are. Coming up at number 10, we got Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is a film that had polarized many fans of the franchise. Some people loved it, some hated it. I'm with the people that I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really interesting to see what these dinosaurs are treated with. I love seeing how these characters evolved from the first film, and I really liked how they dig in deep more into cloning and what that could basically do, and selling the dinosaurs and the investment in human greed. I thought it was all interesting, just that the villains needed work. And there are a bit too many callbacks that just felt like copy and paste from the first film. That stuff bothered me, and it kind of bogged the movie down. But overall, I really enjoyed the action. I really enjoyed the performances. The special effects were great, and I was really interested in the story. And J. Biona's directing, especially in the last act of the film, where it becomes sort of a haunted house horror type film. I thought he was able to come onto it, the franchise, and make something of his own and bring in a new flavor to it. Coming in at number 9, we have got Halloween. This is a sequel that I think a lot of people have been wanting. And that is a simple horror slasher film involving Michael Myers and Laurie Strode. And I thought that the story was simple but yet intriguing. The problems I have had to be with the humor being outplaced a few times, and the twist in the final act of the film that just felt too much out there. I thought that it was creepy when it needs to be. I thought Jamie Lee Curtis was amazing in the film, and I really loved Michael Myers here. He was terrifying as he was in the first film. Simple and yet effective, David Gordon Green brought the franchise back. Coming up at number 8, we have got The Incredibles 2. This was a film that I had so much fun watching. It was like a joy to see a Pixar film once again be great. And while I felt like it is not as fresh as the original, I did enjoy the humor, the character's arc. I enjoyed some stuff with the villain, even though she's not the greatest villain out there. I really enjoyed especially the animation. It gone way better. This was just overall a really satisfying sequel and a really worthy one, and I would definitely recommend you guys go check this out. Coming up at number 7, we have got A Quiet Place. This movie made me tense in the theater. It made me silent. That's pretty rare. Having a movie this intriguing is like one in a million. And that is saying a lot. I thought that John Krasinski did something really special with this film, and it really brought a unique take on the horror genre. with really, really interesting characters that you're able to care about, a fantastic score, and horrifying monsters that are going to give you nightmares. A Quiet Place was a damn good film, and I definitely recommend you guys go check it out. Coming up at number 6, we have got Ready Player One. This was a film that just so special to me. I mean, Spielberg brought back the 80s nostalgia. He brought back his sense of fun and joy of film. It is the definition of a Spielberg film for me. A lot of fun, really heartfelt, likable characters, and fun action sequences with a good story and message behind it. Ready Player One was everything I wanted it to be and more. And while I think that there were a few characters that were a little bit underdeveloped and the villain felt like he was there, though Ben Mendelsohn does a really fantastic performance, this film was honestly, what I wanted. Great action, great characters, a fantastic story and theme to it. Ready Player One is definitely a film for everyone, and I think that a lot of people could find something that they could take out of from this film. And that is why my number 6. Coming up at number 5, we got Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. That is how you do a Spider-Man not Spider-Man sequel, a Spider-Man film overall. Into the Spider-Verse was like pure enjoyment. Like a comic book leaped from the pages into the screen, and it was just a blast of a ride. The characters of Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, Spider-Noir, Penny Parker, Spider-Ham, and Peter Parker, they were all great. I love these characters. I remembered them all. I was able to remember all these characters. There wasn't one that I wasn't the least invested in. They were all equally fantastic. The animation was spectacular. The writing is off the charts fantastic. And the humor is hilarious. And it is just well directed, well animated. And I just highly recommend you guys go check this film out. Coming up in number 4, we have got BlacKkKlansman. This was a film that honestly got pretty crazy. I mean, this is the true story of a black man infiltrating the KKK. I mean, it's crazy already. But director Spike Lee was able to find a unique way to not make this film be like other films that are based off historical events or things that happened in the past. It wasn't like really somber or try to be too serious. It had a sense of fun, but was able to get you intrigued in this sort of what is going. Honestly, this film is a bit hard to describe. And still to this day, I don't want to give too much because there was so much stuff in this film that I did not expect that just really got under my skin. The performances from everybody. Denzel's son, I keep forgetting his name. Crap. He was fantastic. And Adam Driver was honestly incredible. He was like, which film? Logan Lucky. He sort of had that same performance in Logan Lucky, except it's better. He was fantastic and such a great addition to this film. This is a film that I don't want to give too much away from or talk about too much because you just gotta experience it yourself. That's why it's in my number 4. Coming up at number 3, we have got Mission Impossible Fallout. It is honestly one of the best action films I have seen. this year. It is honestly what an action film should be. Great action, great characters, fantastic talent like Christopher McQuarrie directing it, and Tom Cruise just runs it home. No pun intended. Really, no pun intended. That just came out of nowhere. I just realized that. But this was a movie that does so many twists and turns. It leaves you expecting something, but it leaves you also feeling kind of stupid, and just lets you focus on the film itself, because the film is the teacher and you're the one listening to it. And it does a great job getting your attention throughout every scene and frame it did. Mission Impossible Fallout is one of the best films of the year, and if it doesn't get nominated, I am going to be pissed. Coming up at number 2, this is a film that you all probably don't expect to be this high on my list, but it is. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes. Honestly, I think you all are pretty surprised that this is my number 2, but thinking about this movie more and more, I honestly loved it even more. This is a really action-packed film that paid so much attention to its source material. It is intriguing, it is hilarious, it is well animated, but it never loses sight of what its source material is, and it has a lot of heart to it. It was able to have all these characters and have the cohesive, well drawn out story and fantastic animation and action sequences at the end. And what happened in the film, if you don't know, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil, but it will leave you jaw dropped. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes is one of my favorite anime movies ever, and honestly, it's honestly a great intrigue and great point for me to start off with the series, because before I know the series, but I was never incredibly invested in it. This movie made me want to look into this series more, and I just had a blast watching it. Coming in number 1, I think you guys know the obvious. Number 1, Avengers Infinity War. I mean, this is 10 years of build-up. 10 years of storytelling. 10 years of film. This is what they've been leading to. And it paid off gloriously. The Russo brothers did a great job with all the characters that they were given, all the storylines that had been leading up to this moment. It paid off. The action was spectacular, especially the Wakanda battle scenes. The characters. There are so many characters, like 120, yet they all still had their moment to shine. While some do have less screen time than others, you're still able to care about them in some way, shape, or form. And that is honestly incredible. And to me, is the reason why this film is my number 1 pick for one of the best films of the year. It is emotionally investing. It takes you through this journey of failure and a bit of depression. And it never loses sight of Thanos. And he was awesome. Thanos is one of the best villains I've ever seen. And he is going to leave a huge impact in this franchise and the movie cinema forever. Avengers Infinity War is my favorite film of the year, and is my number 1 pick for the best film of the year. I just said the same thing kind of the same way, just said it differently. Oh god, I'm terrible at this. This is why I need to write. This is why I need to write this shit. This is why I need to write my shit instead of just coming out with no paper nor no script. God, I need to work on stuff next year. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed 2018. Most likely some of you probably didn't. I didn't. It had been really divisive. But overall, we can all take away something from this year. And my next video, we're going to be looking at some of the worst. Oh, what a joy.
So heaven, if you sent us down, so we can build a playground for the sin.